just thought I'd let you know we're here at the cemetery with Shaun. Bought him his favourite food, 2 junior burgers, frozen Coke and some chips. And we're just going to have a bit of a, whether you call it lunch, dinner, celebrating. We're celebrating his life today. No more tears about Shaun. You know, I've had lots of time to think about this, and Shaun wouldn't want me being upset anymore. It's been 5 years in my life. You know, it's time to live life to the fullest, embrace life, and basically and deal with it. So, you know, I did a video. Give you an example. There's a video which I'll that I couldn't believe that happened. The year I launched the foundation, I was at the cemetery, and a friend of mine did the live stream video, right? And on the live stream video, which I've still got, there is a light that pierces right through the sky through my body. Wow. And there was no sun or anything. It was all cloudy that day, and there's a bright light that pierces right through my body. Wow. And I've got it on video. So
wow, that's crazy, man. And look, I'm with you there, Cameron. You know, incidences like that, most of my friends in the group we're on Messenger that you've just joined, yep. I've had experiences like that through my faith and that, where, you know, direct messages and things that have happened where even when I tell people who, you know, respectfully, they don't believe, and that's okay. It's up to them. Yep. Yep. They've gone, oh, okay. I go, yeah, I know. You haven't got an answer, have you? And they go, no, not really. That was crazy. So you only experience what you're going to experience if it's meant to happen, you know?
I'll never forget what Shaun said to me. When he came out to his bedroom and said, I've just done a video. I'm like, what are you talking about? What video? And this is exactly what he said. I'll never forget as long as I live. He goes, Dad, this is going to reach millions and millions of people. I said, what did you just say? He goes, can I have a ham sandwich now, please? And he never said it again. And like, wow. I'm thinking, he'd do this to me all the time. He'd say stuff like that, and he wouldn't bring it up again. Like he'd say to me, I said, can you tell me what happened the night that you saw God? He goes, Dad, that's something I need to take to the grave, and I've made a promise, and I can't say what God said that night.
Wow.
And he kept that promise till he died.
Wow. Well, I guess the point is, I guess people aren't ready for it either, you know?
No. I did a podcast recently for Light FM, and I believe, looking back at his life now, that Shaun knew all along that he was going to die young. And I believe, as he calls his epiphany that he had at 8 years old, for his first transplant, that's the night he got told he was going to die. Because soon as he got that first, he was a different child after he got that first transplant. He become very positive. Shaun was a public speaker in his own right. When Shaun did my final goodbye, we had hundreds of people contact, 20,000 people all over the world. I had a girl, I'll never forget, I had one girl contact me after he passed away, and she was 13 years old from Florida, and she said she was cutting her wrists every day, like cutting herself. And I just said, look, I said, go and watch Shaun's YouTube channel and read some of his books. She came back to me about 2 months later, and she goes, he has changed my life forever, and I'm going to live life to the fullest like him now.
Huh. Wow. So, that's amazing, man. It's amazing. Doug, what were you going to say?
That's really incredible. Like, your son was one of the strongest people I think I've ever seen. Like, I was watching your video that got 7 million views, and
Hi guys. I have some bad news I want to tell you all. I have chronic heart rejection, and I won't be here for as long as I thought. But I want to say, this has been an awesome ride, and I have no regrets. Live life to the fullest, because you never know what's going to happen. I just want to thank all my family and friends who have been in my life. Please don't cry for me. I will be okay. I do ask all my friends to make sure my dad will be okay. I will miss you guys so much. I love you all. I know this is bad news, but good news came as well. I now have a girlfriend now called Maddie, and I'm so happy. At the moment, nothing can bring me down. I hope I left footprints in all of your hearts, because I'm going to miss you all, and I love you dearly. Bye. Love from Shaun. See ya.
I could tell that he remained strong as he said goodbye, but he was still emotional, and I can't blame him.
Yeah.
And look, that's exactly right, Doug. And the thing is that why we started this channel was, not to have people walk away going, oh, that was depressing. It's to have people go exactly what that young girl said, Cameron. Wow, he's changed my life forever. And having you on here sharing Shaun's story and your story is going to affect. We're not saying, oh, we want 20 million views. If we change one person's life with these interviews of these 25 people on here that we've had, and it's growing, one person or two people, that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
Because, look, not everyone, what I get really tired of on social media is, and I'm not saying this doesn't work at all, but when you flick it on and you got all these things, hey, hit the link below and look at my table. It's laid with all these checks, 100 to 800, 900. You know what? It may work, but it doesn't work for everybody. It's a really small percentage that works for, and that can drive people down into a rabbit hole because they can't get it to work. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, look, I don't say it doesn't work, but it doesn't help sometimes with people who are not dealing with life properly. So the people we interview are ordinary people who are up to extraordinary things that you may never have heard of and never hear of again, but they've made a choice in life to keep moving forward. And one of them is Doug. When I first started coaching him 5 or 6 years ago, I met him 2 years before that. He lived in Arizona. I lived in LA. We've only met twice in that amount of time, and the second time was last weekend.
Yep.
And he's a whole different guy.
That's
he
good.
was at this big
That's
pageant, seriously, he's mixing with people. He's fitting. He's talking with CEOs of Women of Achievement. He fitted in. He said, I would never have been able to do that 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago because I didn't fit in. I felt I was different. So everybody on here is making a difference,
Absolutely.
And your story is just it's incredible, man. And we're gonna end up stopping now because we've got the 20, but I want to let everyone know this is only just a taste. Get your tissues ready, because I know over the next 3 or 4 episodes you will not be able to stop having a shed a tear over this because of his bravery and the stand that you as a dad making a difference for other people and what parents are going through.
And I was a single father too. That's what made it more tough as well.
Oh wow.
I was a single father with him as well, so that's what made it even harder.
Sheesh, man. So you're dealing with all that on your own, and no one to really. Okay, good question. Did you find a support for yourself, Cameron?
I didn't. You know what was weird is we had 2,000 people at Shaun's funeral. Not one person called me the next day to ask how I was.
Wow.
It's like I was a leper and no one wanted to go near me. And then, and then after, like when I started coming out of the way I was and I'm back to normal, everyone wanted to know me again. I'm thinking, yeah, but why couldn't you just pick up the phone and go, are you okay?
Exactly.
But not, they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah, and that's a funny situation, isn't it? We don't know why people do that. There's only a small percentage of people that will see something's going on and they'll call you. But people, whether they're afraid to go, oh, what do we say? What do we say? Like, how you doing? No, the message is like that big non-profit Are You Okay Day in Australia.
That's it.
That's it. Just go, are you okay? And,
that's all.
And one of my friends, Matt Runnels, and three other guys who run non-profits for mental health and suicide in Australia, they said when you go up to someone generally who's suffering and you think they're suffering, you go, hey, how's things doing all right? They'll tell you what you want to hear. But if you just hit them straight away with going, are you okay? A lot of times he said they will tell you the truth. Now I can't say the stats on that, but that's what I've heard, that it does stop them hearing what you want to hear,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, what a story, man. It's just so inspiring, and what you're doing to hopefully save the lives of, other kids. And now, can you explain a little bit more about building the houses? What's all that about?
Yeah, the reason I decided that is when Shaun passed away, I was just given a box of his things after 17 years and said, see you later. There was no support groups. There was no nothing. So I sat down with my foundation. I said, let's build a house and let's have short-term accommodation, have counsellors, have grief people in there. They can come in to a house, talk to people like me that have been through it and help them through the process of grief instead of just pushing them out on the street. Because it doesn't work. If it pushing them back to their old place where they're going to go, they need a place where it's not going to bring the memories up. They need a place where they can heal. And that's great, mate. That really is. Yeah, and it takes time, and it takes getting over hurdles and obstacles to get all these things happening. But you're there. You're there. Yes.
It's just a few more to get over, and finding people who are willing to just jump on and go, hey, here you go, we'll help out.
Exactly. And that's why we agreed. Well, they're going to make a film on Shaun's life, and that's why I agreed for that to happen, because everyone agreed in the foundation, said, okay, as long as the profits go to the foundations, and that's the only reason we're agreeing.
Yes, yeah. That's great. Well, look, let's not, and I'll hand it back to Doug in a second, but let's not spoil too much.
No, that's okay.
I just want to let everybody know that, over the next 3 or 4 series, Cameron will be sharing about, Shaun's last video he made, which got like over 7 million views. Yeah, the final goodbye, the book he wrote, and how you got invited to Dr. Phil. There's a few more, chats we're going to have, mate, and then obviously send people the links of what you're doing and, build more following to, support that,
Absolutely.
Everybody, the link to the foundation is right up here.
Well, Doug, thanks again for, setting all this up. And, this is just an exciting interview, like all the variations we've had with the other guests on. It's just so inspiring to see people coming up and sharing these stories. And so, Cameron, I'd like to thank you, mate, and thank you for your bravery, your humor, and, your honesty, vulnerability, transparency, all of that.
I'll leave you one thing that Shaun used to say. He wanted everyone to know that heaven is for real.
Love it. I love that. Sure. Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much.
Amen to that.
Yeah. All righty, followers. I want to thank both my friends for appearing on the show. I'll see you next time on Being Relentless and Unstoppable.
That's it. That's right.